I've been on a very sincere healing journey for a few years now. And so I'm on this quest to fully recover myself in, my full sense of, sovereignty and self-empowerment and to live, with a sense of purpose and vitality and beneficence. I really want to live with beneficence. And so a central part of my recovery has been the slow and gradual healing from this lifelong addiction. And this binge eating disorder that I've suffered with since I was a child, and that I found that through everything, through all aspects of healing, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, that it all happens through my conscious awareness. I feel like I am the huntress, tracking down all the ways that I hide or compromise or abandon myself. And so my healing happens through learning how to stay when I get triggered and not run and hide. And there's this way that I would leave myself, and I'm not the kind that would explode when I get upset. Instead, I more the tendency to disappear, to get smaller, quieter, softer. And I'd start adjusting myself before anyone would even ask. And I've always been so very sincere in my spirituality, in my spiritual search. I grew up Lutheran, and then as a teenager, I became a born-again Christian. And this felt, in some ways more spiritually alive, but then at one point it just felt too limiting. And I discovered Eastern spirituality, and that opened up, it wasn't so, I found it more inclusive. And then so I embraced a path based in Eastern spirituality and dedicated myself as a nun for 15 years. And all the while, I've understood spirituality to be something that is experienced by surrendering oneself fully to the path, to the expert, to the teachings, to the disciplines, and to fully give oneself away for the service of the greater good. But I came to understand that for me, that by endeavoring to follow a path or teaching, or by attempting to control or discipline myself, or by trying to give selflessly, that it was actually a form of self-abandonment. And I was trying to follow that in hopes, by doing so, that I would be changed, that it would heal me of my wounds and my trauma. But I wasn't being honest and integrous with myself. And I tried to follow and even teach others. But it was something, if something doesn't fully resonate with oneself, then it's like to get behind it with every fiber of your being. It's like, that's how I want to live. I couldn't do that. And so I was compromising myself in hopes that by doing so, that it would bring me out of my suffering and my life would be, become meaningful and worthwhile. And I've always resented myself so much for, being so critical and judgmental, and just, I hate feeling jealous and angry. But I now understand that these moments of triggering are actually really golden, because they're showing me exactly where I need to give some loving attention. And these triggers, they work as a compass to point me toward an unmet need within myself. And I found that, in my anger is the desire to be respected. And in my need to control is the desire to feel safe. And I found that within my jealousy, it's a desire to be valued. And that when I would collapse, it showed me my need to be supported. And when feeling insecure, I found that I need to be seen exactly as I am. And so when my nervous system flares up, it's me letting me know that there's something that's calling me. And oftentimes it's a younger me saying, please don't abandon me again. Or it's an old survival pattern that's just trying to keep me safe the only way it knows how. And so, as things arise and I get triggered, I don't try to fix it or transcend it or avoid it. I give it some space and I allow and I stay with it. And it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable by any means, but it's in this very discomfort that there is a door that opens and there's an opening to a greater understanding and forgiveness and freedom. And it's also within my physical body. When I feel some kind of stuckness or pain, I approach it the same. I relax and I feel into it. I listen. And then I slowly start to move into that sensation. And it's there that I become aware that there is this very subtle current that is moving through me. It is moving through my fascia and through my cells, and it's connected to everything. And it's a current of caring and of love and of deep compassion. And I learned to surrender myself into this gentle current, and it empowers me and gives me courage to let go of all the limits that I put on myself and let go of everything I thought I was, and to become open to what I want to become. And I learned to relax more deeply and to trust this inner guidance. And I find that I'm being replenished with a new sense of self that is a lighter and freer and not so burdened. And I'm learning to flow in this current, which is my own true self. It is love. It is God, Goddess, Mother Nature, my true nature. It's what's sacred in all of life. And so it's primarily through these means of becoming completely still and through this slow meditative movement that I find my way back to myself. And so now it is my humble delight to share with you my dance. It is the language of my soul.